he captured the most powerful city on earth, Babylon. A city so rich, so heavily defended, that most kings wouldn't even dare approach it. And when they did, they burned it to the ground. But he didn't. No fire, no mass slaughter, no chaos flooding the streets. The gates opened, and he walked in, not as a destroyer, but as something history had never really seen before. A conqueror who chose restraint. And that one decision didn't just change a city, it changed how power itself would be remembered. Before Cyrus the Great, there were no good conquerors. Empires weren't built on respect, they were built on fear. Cities burned, walls collapsed under siege, families torn apart, children taken into slavery. Victory didn't mean control, it meant destruction. When an army entered your city, you didn't negotiate, you didn't hope. You waited for the fire, for the screams, for the end. Because losing a war didn't just mean losing power, it meant losing everything. Your land, your culture, your gods, your identity. Entire civilizations could disappear in a single night. This was the world he was born into. A brutal system with only one rule: dominate or be destroyed. And then came Cyrus. Not with a different army, not with better weapons, but with a different mindset. He didn't just rise to power, he questioned the very idea of power itself. Instead of ruling through fear, he did something almost unheard of. He built trust. He united tribes, not by crushing them, but by convincing them. He made people believe that following him was better than resisting him. And when he began to conquer lands, something strange started to happen. He didn't destroy them, he preserved them. Their languages, their customs, their traditions. He didn't force people to become like him. He allowed them to remain themselves. And that changed everything. Because fear can control people, but only for so long. Respect, that lasts longer. And loyalty builds empires, not just in size, but in strength. Then came Babylon, the greatest city on earth, a symbol of power, wealth, and dominance. Its walls stretched endlessly, its defenses were legendary, its reputation untouchable. No one conquered Babylon. And if they tried, they paid for it. Every king before him would have destroyed it, burned it, looted it, made an example of it. That's what everyone expected. But something felt different. There were no flames rising into the sky, no screams echoing through the streets, no desperate last stand. Instead, the gates opened, and Cyrus walked in. No resistance, no chaos, just silence. The people of Babylon watched, waiting for the destruction to begin, for the soldiers to turn violent, for history to repeat itself. But it didn't, because Cyrus did something no conqueror had done before. He freed people, not just symbolically, physically. He allowed captives to return home. He restored temples that had been destroyed. He respected beliefs that weren't his own. He didn't erase Babylon. He protected it. Not because he had to, but because he chose to. And that choice was bigger than a single victory. It was a new idea of power, that ruling people didn't require breaking them, that control didn't have to come from fear, that an empire could grow stronger by giving people something rare: respect, and even freedom. It was a dangerous idea because it challenged everything. Every ruler before him, every system built on domination. But it worked, and that made it unstoppable. Because when people aren't forced to obey, but choose to, they don't just follow you, they defend you. They believe in you. And that belief is more powerful than any army. So what made him different? It wasn't just the cities he conquered. It wasn't just the size of his empire. It was what he refused to destroy. In a world built on fear, he proved something almost impossible: that power didn't have to be cruel, that strength didn't require destruction, that an empire could be built without losing its humanity. Some rulers take land, others take control, but very few change the meaning of power itself. And that's why, thousands of years later, we don't just remember Cyrus, we remember what he stood for. Follow for the stories that don't just tell history, but redefine it.